Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Well, since I haven't, I guess I should now. Insanity is actually not part of the DCM. Insanity in all reality is a legal defense. So the next time someone tells you that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again in an attempt to get a different result, well, I suppose they took Dr. Montenegro's class, but well, seeing as how Dr. Montenegro got his degree by holding a variety of scholastic professionals at gunpoint, I don't think his overall psychological knowledge is all that valid. In all reality, insanity is too broad a term to really describe a singular psychological disorder. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we're not here to talk about psychology or anything like that. Rather, we're here to take a look at Far Cry 3. And with that, let's jump right in. Ostensibly, the game is a first-person shooter, but you don't just do a bunch of shooting. Really, this game is less Skyrim with guns, as the original tagline was, and more GTA with guns. Well, GTA already had guns, but you get the idea. In how it's set up, this game is really quite a bit like GTA. In this game, there are many activities to do in lieu of the main plot, and really, you'll find yourself not shooting people all that often. Really, there are just so many aspects to the gameplay that really just calling it a first-person shooter is a bit disingenuous. And really, the various aspects of the gameplay really are quite well crafted. Such as, well, the crafting system. The crafting system. Ever since the ascendancy of Minecraft, every game has to have a bloody crafting system. Some crafting systems can be good, some can be bad, and some can be entirely superfluous. Far Cry 3, however, actually gets it right. When it comes to crafting, it can get pretty bloody boring. Sometimes you want to do the shooty instead of the diggy or collecty. Well, here, both are actually combined, and it's actually in your personal self-interest to craft. When you first start the game, you have access to one weapon slot, and one small loot sack, and a small wallet. In short, you can only carry a little bit of shit with you. In order to carry more guns, and loot, and general-purpose crap, you need to hunt down various animals around the map, skin them, and craft bigger pouches and more holsters. And well, this is genius. Any self-respecting gamer wants to carry more weapons, and no real gamer would ever leave loot, no matter how small, lying around on the ground. So now, the crafting is not something you have to do, but rather it's something you want to do. And well, the wildlife system in Far Cry 3 is what Turok 2008 wishes it had. Turok 2008 touted that it had a advanced wildlife system where it would do a variety of things. It didn't. Far Cry 3, on the other hand, has a pretty fucking deadly wildlife system. You get attacked by fucking dragons in this game. Not Skyrim dragons, fucking Komodo dragons. But then you have the goddamn bears. Hey Smokey, you just fucking ripped me apart. Only I can prevent forest fires, eh? Burn, Smokey, burn. But anyway, the wildlife system is excellent, and you can sometimes see predators killing herbivores, or you can see them killing bad guys for you. This system really makes the island feel quite alive. The health system is also done well, and even works in the crafting system. Essentially, you have a health bar, and if you get damaged, it goes down, and then in order to raise it up again, you have to have healing items. What a time to be alive. In order to heal, you have to collect various leaves and craft them into syringes. And how many syringes you can carry on your person at one time is actually dependent on how upgraded your syringe pouch is. Now, combat in the game with humies is actually pretty damn good. You can go in all guns blazing, or you can take the stealth approach. Both actually work equally as well as the other, although if you go in all guns blazing, you're likely to need mini health syringes. Weapons are also pretty bloody cool and varied. You have everything from the M1A to the FAMAS to, well, the Flammenwerfer, which is, oh, so satisfying to use. Now this is jumping the gun a bit, but the game does have a good amount of story for just about everything, and there are actually significant journal entries for every single bloody aspect of the game. Remember when those were actually common? One of the more annoying things about the journal entries, though, is they kind of decide to be funny with the AK-47.
citing that Mikhail Kalashnikov got a brainwashing once he actually won the firearms designing competition.
Really, Ubisoft? You have to poke fun at the AK-47? Oh, you're just jealous because the French army is using the FAMAS, which, while cool in video games, is actually kind of crappy in real life.
The stealth mechanics are not at all annoying like they were back in the first Far Cry. The pirates here are not omnipotent and they cannot see you from a fucking mile away. However, they can be a bit stupid and they will sometimes miss you from 2 feet away, but overall they are somewhat fair and are still fun to take down. Now, every good sandbox needs good piddly crap, and the piddly crap in this game is well designed to be certain. You have to take down jammers that are at the top of radio towers to reveal more of the map, and I get that this is, of course, a bit of a rip-off, even though it's also an Ubisoft game, of the various lookout points in the Assassin's Creed series. But if it works, it works. And, well, like in Assassin's Creed, it does give you a good sense of accomplishment when you actually unlock the whole map. Another good aspect about taking out the towers is the fact that for all the towers you take down, you get weapons for free, thus making money somewhat superfluous. Another good piddly crap mission is unlocking safe houses. You do this by finding one on the map and killing all the piraticals surrounding it, which I have to say is a bit more fun than it should be. And then, of course, you have the job board, where you can do hunting challenges and bounties.
And really, all of that is just the tip of the piddly crap berg. There are so many other activities that, well, we would be here all bloody week to try to describe them all. There are races and hunts and all sorts of things. Essentially, you're not going to finish this game in 5 hours.
Really, the game is just huge. The map is open and expansive, and you really are just stumbling over cool shit all the goddamn time. Hell, you can even tomb raid. Looks like old Ubisoft actually put in some of that effort I've been hearing so much about lately. Graphics, well, you can tell that it's one of those games. A game that looks less like a game and more like an animated film. Even though the game is a few years old now, it still blows many of the other AAA titles out of the water. Musically, well, it's excellent. And since it must be experienced, essentially, there is a song later in the game done by a member of the Marley family, and there may be some Withreed involved.
In keeping with GTA, Far Cry 3 also has an amazing story to go along with its extraordinarily fun gameplay.
The story stars Jason Brody, who is your typical bro-man dude, man-child that has more parental money than brains, and the game starts up with him being his usual douchey self, but then it cuts to him and his friends getting captured by pirates. And in an attempt to escape, his brother is killed, who is actually far more competent than he is, and essentially it's sort of faked out that he might be the hero. And, well, when it turns out it isn't, it falls upon Jason to learn how to fight and survive the island and rescue his friends and escape.
This is really an excellent setup. He is no spec marine, he is no seasoned campaigner, he is just a bro-man dude who now actually has to use his poor atrophied brain to try and fight and survive. And really, that means you grow along with the character that you're playing as you go through the game.
The game has a wide variety of fairly interesting characters, and some of them are just a bit off. You know they're crazy, but you're not entirely sure why they're crazy. And of course, you end up teaming up with some locals who give you a magical tattoo called the Tatau, and this apparently gives you some power. And well, in the game, it actually does, as it ties into the level up system. As you get more XP, you can unlock abilities that are pretty much the normal stuff. Health increases and special takedowns.
Really, the game actually presents an interesting dilemma. You aren't really sure if the things happening in the game are just gameplay mechanics, or if they're actually happening in real life.
As you would imagine, there are some freakouts here and there, and they get more and more bizarre as time goes on. And you, the player, begin to wonder if the freakouts are all in Jason's head, or if they're actually happening.
Now I would say, Far Cryception! But seeing as how that's such an old meme, I'll likely be fined for it. Fuck it. Far Cryception!
One major aspect of the game is the fact that it has a number of very interesting villains. Chief among them is, of course, Voss. Essentially, Voss here is the Joker. Or, to get really obscure, the judge of the video game world. He is totally unpredictable and can go off the handle at any time. And really, that's one of the major aspects of Far Cry 3. The gameplay is great, but the story is what really sticks with you after you have finally finished the game.
As should be a truth that is indeed self-evident, Far Cry 3 is an excellently made video game. Essentially, what we have is a game with complex and varied gameplay and a story that's actually pretty bloody well written. What we have, ladies and gentlemen, is a video game that will indeed stand the test of time. For me, this is one of my favorite first-person shooters in general, and this could definitely be considered one of the great first-person shooters of all time. Oh sure, it uses a lot of older elements, but it uses them well. And I, of course, cannot recommend this game enough. Whether you play it on the PC, God help you with that goddamn Uplay, or on a console, it's a game that must be played. And so, I am General Lotz, wishing you good Far Cry 1, and, well, as good as you can get out of it, Far Cry 2, or whatever makes you happy.